All right, we are going to look at some shapes that you could see questions asked about. So for number 11, we have a square, and it says find the perimeter of the following figures. And if you remember, perimeter just means to add all the sides. Right? And so for a square, all of the sides are the same. And so I add it up 4 times, or I could just say 4 times my side length. So it's just distributive property. 4 times 3 is 12x squared. 4 times 1 is 4x. And 4 times 14, I think that's 56. So negative 56. Okay, and then number 12 is also finding the perimeter. This time it's finding perimeter of a rectangle. And what people often forget is that this has to be duplicated. So this is also 8x minus 6, and this is 5x squared minus 2x plus 7. Okay. Now there is a formula for perimeter. You could have multiplied each side by 2 and then added them together. Whichever way works for you. I wrote it out twice, so I'm going to add them up. 8 plus 8 is 16, and I can also add that to my negative 2. So 16 minus 2 is 14. 14 minus 2 is 12x. I have my 5x squared and my 5x squared, so at this point I have 10x squared plus 12x, and excuse me, then I have 7 minus 6 is 1, and 7 minus 6 is 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2, so plus 2. Okay, so I just added up my x squareds, then my x's, and then my constants, my numbers. So that's just perimeter, adding up all of the sides. When we get down to 13, at this point, from here on out, we are finding the area. So area means that we are multiplying. The area of a square is the side length squared. So if I take this side length, 2x minus 7, and I square it, well, doesn't that look like what was on the front of your note page? It's really saying 2x minus 7 times 2x minus 7. So this is, again, where we use distributive property. 2x times everything. So I get 4x squared minus 14x. And then I take negative 7 times everything. Negative 14x plus 49. I add up my middle terms because they're like terms. They both just have an x, and my final answer is 4x squared minus 28x plus 49. Okay. Area of a rectangle is length times width. And so I have 4x minus 5 times 8x plus 3, and I'm just going to use distributive property to multiply it out. 4x times 8x is 32x squared. 4x times 3 is 12x. Then I have negative 5 times 8x is negative 40x. And negative 5 times 3 is negative 15. My middle terms are both x's, so my final answer is 32x squared minus 28x minus 15. If you find that I multiplied or added wrong, just write it down and let me know later on. Okay, number 15. Again, it's a rectangle, so the area is length times width. So I have 4x times 8x squared minus 4x plus 1. And so multiplying 4x times 8x squared is 32x to the third power. 4x times negative 4x is negative 16x squared. And 4x times 1 is positive 4x. And there's nothing to add there, so that's your final answer. Okay. Number 16, again, area is length times width. So I'm actually going to put my width first. So I have x plus 8 times 3x squared minus 5x plus 9. And we're going to take the first term, which is just x, and multiply it by everything. So I have 3x to the third power negative 5x squared plus 9x. And then I have positive 8 times everything. And I'm going to line up my like terms. So 8 times 3x squared is a positive 24x squared. 8 times negative 5x is negative 40x. And then 8 times 9 is positive 72. Add straight down, I have 3x to the third power plus 19x squared minus 31x plus 72. Okay. All right, the challenge question says to find the volume of a rectangular prism with length equal to 3x, width is 2x minus 7, and height is 4x plus 8. And so the formula is length times width times height. So what you're going to do here is we have 3x times the width, which is 2x minus 7. And we're going to figure that out and multiply that answer by the height. So it's just distributive property. I have 6x squared minus 21x. And then I'm going to take that answer, 6x squared minus 21x, and multiply it by my height, 4x plus 8. And so distribute. I have 24x to the third power. And then I have 48x squared. And then 21 times 4 is negative 84x squared. And then 21 times 8 is negative 168x. And then we're going to add straight down. And I have 24x to the third power minus 36x squared minus 168x. Okay, so the summary question says, what is the difference between finding the perimeter of a rectangle and the area of a rectangle that have polynomial side lengths? So take a second and answer that. Now that you've answered that, you should have this paper. Okay, if not, ask for it. And then you are going to just practice what I just showed you. So letter A is very much like example 12. Okay. Letter B is just perimeter. Add up all the sides. So you're just combining your like terms. And then when you get down to C, we're like example 13, like example 14 from your notes, like example 15, and like example 16. Okay, and you're just going to try these and write your answer down below.